Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Richmond vs Fremantle game, in which Fremantle just blew them out of the water in the last quarter, and a couple of the Freo guys just went absolutely nuts. They ended up having a relatively normal score fantasy wise as a team, but it was just so heavily slanted to four guys that, it really did burn me not to only have one of those guys, especially because two of them were highly owned. The two guys that went absolutely nuts were Ryan and Sarong, and so this game really did hurt me in terms of fantasy, and also I guess in Supercoach as well, as I could have easily gotten Ryan, or could have easily gone for Sarongas, which was really, really annoying, as they did go absolutely nuts, those two. But anyway, before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So as you can see here, Short ended up with a 103. I thought he was pretty good and I liked his role. It's just a matter of, can he put consistent scores up there for being a top 6 defender? Well, given how these sort of defenders are panning out, I guess you do have Luke Ryan's going to be, I think, a top 6. I still think Whitfield's going to be a top 6, given he got tagged out of the game by James Jordan, and I still think when he gets back to his best, he's a 110 guy. You have the likes of Nick Dacos, he's back to 100. You got Hayden Young already, so that's already like 5 names. And so I don't know if Jaden Short's really going to be there, if at the best of times he can only get to 100. I don't think he really has that big score in him that the likes of Luke Ryan does have. And you could always have Sicily just pop up for a 160. We've seen that happen, I think, multiple times, where he just goes on a roll and has like a 60-point quarter. Velocity 98, pretty big second and third quarter as a sort of intercepting guy, and just a lot of kicks. Don't know whether he was on kickouts, I need to check that. Dusty Martin, he went big early and then sort of slowed down. As you can see here, he was on, 74 with 5 minutes to go in the third, and then he decided to do nothing for the rest of it. Basically, and then you got Tom Brown. He was on nothing at halftime, then had a huge third quarter, and then ended up on a 76. So he did all right. For those that sort of own him, he's probably time to jump off now if you do own him still. Rioli 75, again, just sort of a medium defender, not really doing terribly much. It does have some spike games, but never going to be relevant. Baker, I just don't think he just scores enough, to be honest. He gives away a lot of free kicks. 3 free kicks in this game given away. That can dampen the score very, very much. So, and I just don't know if he has that scoring potential to go 130s regularly. That sort of needs to do. Broad, Nankervis, Pickett, Ralph Smith, Swansea, Lafau actually I thought really had a good start and then did nothing, as he got to 40 in the first, a -3 second, and then kicked a goal in the third as well to get 2 goals, 1 for the day, which was pretty good. Young, Dow, Banks, Bolton. Bolton had one of the worst first halves that I've ever seen. 3 touches in the first half, and then in the end he only ended up on a 42, which I was kind of surprised about, to be honest, as he does have the perfect role, to be honest with you, and he just got no marks this game. He ended up with 2 marks for the whole game for him, which was sort of surprising. He almost ended up with more. Did he get more tackles than marks in this game? Just looking at it, 2 marks, 2 tackles, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check that. Was Shea Bolton 2 marks, 2 tackles, and 13 touches is not really like Bolton, and I just want to check his sort of his role, but advanced and CBAs. He had the most CBAs out of anyone out there. He had 20 CBAs and had a 42. So yeah, we're probably going to be able to pick him up for ultimately very, very cheap, because he is going to turn it around, and yes, he is an impact player, but he's got the massive role at the moment that as a forward, he can pop out 90s. So I'm just really shocked about that score in general, to be honest, as he's going to drop, I believe, now to probably in the 700s sometime soon. Miller, Campbell, Mantle, all these guys don't matter. Then we go over to Fremantle and Luke Ryan, as you see here. Oh man, it's just so annoying, man, when these guys go off. but I guess he is highly owned for a reason and probably going to be one of the defenders next year as we lose Ryan. We won't lose Whitfield. He'll probably be D1 or close to it if Dacos isn't there. And Luke Ryan will be challenging for it because he just gets so many just uncontested mark after uncontested mark. He ended up with 39 touches and 15 marks or something like that. So yeah, huge effort from him. Sarong as well, he was huge in the first half, and then second half he tapered off a little bit and tapered off for a 53-point second half. So yeah, he did his job, I guess. And yeah, just really sucks that I didn't go for him in Supercoach, and I went for Tom Green that got injured. I should have just gone for him, and yeah, that was smarter to go for him. But I guess Tom Green, you thought in the wet conditions he would do well, but he just got injured. Hayden Young ended up with a huge second half, a 78 second half, and in the last quarter he only actually touched it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches in the last quarter for a 34 is always going to work, especially when it was 4 kicks and a handball. So he ended up with 20 non-disposal points in the quarter. That is absolutely huge. And he ended up, I think, with 7 and 6, maybe 7 and 5, 7 marked, 5 tackles, and 2 goals. So that's 21, 41, 53, 54 out of his 125 were non-disposal. That is a huge amount. When you get anything close to about 40%, especially for a huge midfielder, and they're getting over 20 touches a game, that's when you're starting to get to the big numbers. Brayshaw 125, I thought he really... I was sort of surprised he went big, but I guess it was in the last quarter that he sort of went big. And yeah, a 45 last quarter to get up to the 125. Johnson 97, slightly surprised about this. He sort of has these games and then he'll have like a 50 or a 60 game. So it'll be interesting to see where he finishes at, as yeah, a 97 from him was surprising. Then you've got Clark, a 93, the 90s guy, the forever 90s guy, I guess. 30, 23, 20, and 20. He got off to a really good start and got up to 24 in about 15 minutes, and I thought, oh no, he's going large here. But then he finds a way just to almost evade the pill for a lot. And then, yeah, you can see here, a 30-point first, and then nothing really, sort of consistent quarters, but nothing really jumping off the page. Tracy, 86, as a key position player, that's huge. Sharp, 86 as well. He did really well at that M8 spot for me, covering because there was a lot of chaos. Aish, 84. Amish, 79. Kicked a couple of goals as well. One goal here. 2 goals. Was that 2 goals, 1, I believe, for him. Jackson, 74. A lot of people are probably going to think about trading him out yet again, but it looks like Darcy might have injured himself. We won't know yet. He did get subbed out, but it was only tightness, but it's a ruckman, so tightness probably almost has a different definition for a ruckman. So there is a potential for Jackson to be R1 again at Freo, and R1 for Freo is sort of a 20-point better Jackson. So as you sort of see here, I think he got subbed out in the last, and Jackson did pull a 21. It would have been nice if Jackson did do something in the third, and that would have been an 80, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with him. He did end up scoring, I think, like an 86 in Supercoach, so I still think he is in top 6 in Supercoach, but in Fantasy, I don't think he's going to be there unless he gets that sort of, unless Darcy's out for the year. Walter, 70, Chapman, O'Meara, Walker, Frederick, Darcy, Bamfield, Draper, Emmett, Pearce. Fife was the sub, given they had a 5-day break going into Sydney on the Friday night, so he just took the sub role and came on in the last quarter, and then Cooper Simpson, just a 19, just didn't do anything, and that kind of sucks. But he's going to be one that will be interesting when he starts to, because I feel like he's not going to be that small forward type of player. I feel like he's going to be a midfielder down the line, but he is he just needs to spend some time as a midfielder, as a small forward at the moment, as they wait for him to sort of develop. But yeah, he did a 19 from that small forward role, nothing really substantial there. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there, going through the Richmond versus Fremantle game, in which basically blew away my Supercoach season, as Luke Ryan was the biggest pod I had to go against in the top 1%, and he sort of went the largest of the round, or the largest of the season it might have been, with a 190 something in Supercoach. Let me just double check there. A 197 in Supercoach is not fun to play against. And so yeah, that kind of sucked. But anyway, that was the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.